Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of the San Pablo Creek. It's a really beautiful place that I go to regularly just to see the trees and the plants and just to see how it's changing over the seasons. So let's begin the tour. So right now I'm on a sandbar. And I guess spring has just arrived here like a month ago because this was covered in water like a few weeks before that, like in June. And now there are sycamores sprouting over here. There's ivy, which should not grow here. There's these horsetails or whatever these are. But there's also a lot of yellow jackets, so I should get out of here. They really like the water. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get off this little sandbar. I'm wearing Crocs, which is great. And you'll notice there's a lot of water-loving plants that I really like here. There's cattail grasses. Let's see I don't know what these are, but they're really, really cool. There are alders, and there's a full-sized alder right here. Very inspirational. Lots of willows. A lot of ticks as well, so I'm gonna be careful. I'm always looking at my legs just to make sure I have none. I don't walk through this. There's probably lots of ticks here. I've seen ticks in this grass before. Yeah. I think we're gonna go this way. Just following the creek. So there's a white ash here. It gets orange fall colors. Another alder. It's always green here during the growing season. There are crayfish in this water, and there are little fish and tadpoles. Golf balls regularly flying from the golf course right there. It's kind of a very magical place to be. So here's a sycamore. It's a really nice shade tree at this time of year and this time of day. This is like one of my home places. It's my second home or happy place. It's very seasonal here. And this is what kind of late summer looks like. It looks very overgrown. And then every winter, all this gets all orange fall colors and yellow fall colors, red fall colors, some even pink fall colors. There's a cluster of dogwoods right there. So I think I'm actually going to go the other way. I'll come back across this river in this direction on the way back. So here I go. There's mustard flowers still blooming. It's a good thing to see the ivy drying out. Everyone hates it. And I've been clipping away a trail. This is already a deer trail, but I just pronounce it a little more so that it can become, so that you can walk on it. Please excuse the loud noises you hear. There's a big road right there. I hope that doesn't become too disruptive. Yeah, but yeah, this is another really nice plant here. You get these nice flowers. There's raspberry bushes, blackberry bushes. So you gotta watch out for those. They can be very pointy. There's more alders. And there's dogwoods. Red osier dogwood. They're very pretty. Here's the most scenic part of the trail. You're in a dogwood forest. Red stems, bright green leaves. In May and April, these flower, these little clusters. And in fall, like in November, mid-November, these are like all pink and orange and yellow. It's really nice. And the bright red stems get even brighter than this. So it's like different ecosystems here. There's the dogwood area, there's the cattail area over there. Yeah. Here is a branch that was cut off of this big willow tree, and it rooted in its place, and I can't really easily show you the roots unless it's winter, because I can actually see roots growing across the soil around this piece of wood. But here is this growth coming off of this big cutting that has fallen here. Definitely rooted. So the branch goes from there. That's the end of the branch. And this is the beginning of the branch. Lots of very strong growth. And it's even flowered, this cutting. And I think I'll go over this willow tree. There's part of the path that goes over it. And I haven't been here in a while, so it's very overgrown. Hopefully there are no ticks in this willow. There's lots of gnats. So not bees, don't worry. Oh my god, it's like a jungle here now. Usually I come here and kind of snip a little bit of the branches. Using directional pruning, so I would like prune here. Or I'm using bonsai techniques wherever I go. But yes, I'll check for ticks later. Right now, I'm not really concerned. Unless I see one or feel one crawling on me. None on me right now. Yet. I don't notice any crawling anywhere yet. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. There's a little secret area here. So back here, so many bugs. It's very wet here. Mosquitoes love it. So if I go here, a willow has died here since I was last here, but it's growing back slowly. I'll show you a very magical view of this creek. There. One of my favorite views. There's like a patch of grass and rocks here. Very, very scenic. A lot of bees and stuff over here. There's flowers. Lots of ticks on this grass as well. So we'll just go in the creek. Here's the roots from the willow trees. They absolutely love growing next to the water. for ticks every few minutes. There's thistles. There's a rumex or a dock plant here. I don't know what kind of rumex it is, but it's one of my favorite plants that are not trees. It's also very hot and humid here because there's lots of moisture. But it's just outside of the river, or the area of the creek. It is very dry. This is interesting. There's a runner from a grass, this kind of grass, and it's producing a runner, or like a shoot off of one of its stems that have fallen. Here's what the stems look like. That's very odd. There's lots of fish as well. I'll dry off my hand so I can zoom in. Lots and lots of fish. But I have no choice but to walk in the water because at this time of year, there's just so many ticks in there. Try not to disturb the fish in here. I'm stepping lightly. The rocks in here might be a bit slippery, but I've walked over slipperier rocks. More dangerous terrain in Yellowstone. So, yeah, this is probably the most hopscotch area ever in the creek. There's a rodent. I don't know what it was. It could have been a squirrel or bunny. Oh, take a look at this fuzz from the whatever these. Oh, it's prickly lettuce. I see. It's a massive prickly lettuce plant. Yeah. So look at this. There's another. Huh. So there's prickly lettuce there. There's its flower stalk. I've never seen any prickly lettuce that has this many flowers on it. This must be a very large one. Yeah, but here's all the fuzz on it. Lots of seeds. The seeds are very visible. You can see here. All of those are seeds. But I already have prickly lettuce growing in my yard. I don't need any. If any of you wonder what a golf ball looks like when it's split open, I have never ever seen a golf ball split open before. This is really nice. It looks like the earth. Its layers. Actually, that's actually a quite accurate way to see it. Hold on. It's a very nice way to see it because it's actually colored right. Although it's got a bit of algae on it, definitely, that won't come off. It's very hard in there. It's almost like it broke like a rock. It's not, I can't even put my fingernail in there. It's like really, well, I mean, it's a bit squishy, but very, very tough. There's gotta be some springiness in here. That's why they bounce so high. Yeah. And this is the deepest part of the creek. Yeah, I'll try to get out here and as much as I can without like getting my shorts wet. But but there is the deepest part of the creek. I'm holding my phone firmly. There's the bridge for the golf course. People drive their carts across that regularly. Usually they don't notice me walking here, but sometimes they just say hello and pass by. This is not the golf course's property. It's the property of the entire town of Orinda. So people come here usually with, I don't know, as far as I know, the trash here could be carried from upstream places, or people could often go here and do stuff that, I don't know, whatever. I pick up the trash regularly whenever I see one that's easy to remove. That one does not look like it's easy to remove. But yeah, I pick up trash whenever I can and try to keep this place clean. It's a very beautiful place. I would just relax here for hours at a time, enjoying the scenery and the sounds of the creek. There's an ant on my arm. No ticks yet. Probably have to do a touchdown, like a pat. I mean a pat down, airport style. Maybe even more than that. But yeah. I'm very excited to see what this place looks like in fall once again. Always. I'm always looking one season ahead. So, and sometimes even more. So this spring, I was like, oh, I can't wait until winter. I mean, let's just start with a little bit earlier. So last winter, I was like, I can't wait until summer when everything's green and flowering and thriving. And then in spring, I was like, I can't wait until fall when everything's changing color and the colors are so warm, they fill my heart with warmth even though it's cold. And then in summer, I'm like, oh, I can't wait until fall. I can't wait until winter, until storms are raging. Oh, there's like crayfish. And yeah, I'm trying to stay in the moment. It's always jumping ahead of myself. I just gotta stay in the moment. Now, over here, this is where the most hornets are, and I'll show you what they look like. I hope I'm getting it. There. So that's what they look like. I've never been stung by one, and I don't want to, because it's a hornet. I don't know what it's doing. It was doing a handstand. So, because of all the insects in this area, I would normally go here in fall, because there are less insects in general. And now, in summer, it's just teeming with insects, and some of them can bite and be very painful. So, I'm gonna go around in the water. I should probably put my finger in the loop where I can safely hold my phone. The reason why I was not making any videos for like 5 days is because I broke my phone after too many times of dropping it. Alright. So now my phone is secure in my hand. My finger is in my loop, the loop in the phone. There's some doves that just flew by. There's a bunch of blackberries here. So while you're walking, you can pick the berries and delight yourself in flavor. Really nice. Yeah. I've been here during storms with like 60-mile-per-hour winds. I've been here when it's very, very still and absolutely no wind. I have been here when the sun is beating down on me enough that I had to go halfway in the water and get my clothes wet because it was so hot. And I've been here when it's kind of dark in winter, in the evening. I'm not sure if I've been here when it's very cold, though. Last winter was very cold. I mean, it was the opposite of that, actually. It was very warm. Hopefully this winter is a bit colder and we get snow on Mount Diablo. Yeah, so I'm just slowly walking here, not to disturb the stuff swimming around. I could go in there, but there's just so many ticks in there. I just know it. Here's a cattail grass. And they're producing seed pods. Very, very tall grasses. Producing runners like this. It's very slow moving in here. The water's very deep in it. It's a very steep slope right here. So I'm also getting a lot of stuff in my shoe. I can't really shake it out because then it will just get back in. Oh God. So the bottom of my shorts is getting wet, but I'll wash them, of course. Whoa. It's a bit slippery as well. I almost took my phone for a dip in the water. I've done that many times and survived. Yeah. I've also been here when the water is at its highest as far as last year. It didn't get that big, like that tall. It just the highest the water got last winter was like right here. But the winter of 2023 was absolutely insane. The water was like 10 feet deep. And it was like up to there. It was insanely high. And it cleared away a lot of the vegetation here. And any vegetation that actually remained here was like swept to the side. I might show you some of that damage. Here, this was probably toppled over from the floods. There was like 4 atmospheric rivers from January to March. Very damaging storms, but yeah. I'm gonna take my monthly photo now of the creek. Gotta update my background for my phone. So yeah, you've seen that. I'll quickly show you what we've been doing. We've been clearing out this invasive species. It's called Scotch brush. The very, very what's the word? They just don't stop growing. They're actually still growing right now, even after they shed their last year's leaves. And part of this year's leaves too. They get very sparse at the time of year, and they form these seed pods, these little bean pods that are like this big, and then they explode. They're still popping over here. I'll show you that. Just remain silent. You hear the pop of the seed pods. It's not happening as much anymore. In June, they were really popping, but the sun kind of opens them up. And they burst, and they explode, and they send seeds all over the place. And they have a very high germination rate, which is even worse. These ones look like they've all popped. So that is the San Pablo Creek. There's a tour as far as I can go because the trail I was on goes into some poison oak further up, and I'll show you that in fall, like in September. So that's all for today. This is the Watch Poplars, and I'll see you in the next video.